Abrogating the nuclear deal will diminish America's credibility, isolate it diplomatically, and engender a rise in regional tensions. President Donald Trump's imminent decision on whether to stay in the nuclear deal will affect more than nuclear nonproliferation in the Middle East. Trump has remained obstinate about his intention to destroy the deal absent a new agreement. Despite that, the prospects for renegotiating a better deal are slim, while the consequences for its failure are steep. The Middle East has reached a crisis point over Syria, which has endured 7 years of war. Increasing Israeli airstrikes on Iranian targets in the country have brought Israel and Iran into an escalation spiral where miscalculation could lead to an undesired conflict. Until now, Iran has restrained itself because Tehran is wary of taking actions that could prompt Trump to withdraw from the nuclear deal and undermine its economic recovery. Given the domestic pressures afflicting the regime, Tehran may feel less restricted politically if the deal falls apart and could lash out against Israel, its ideological foe, to deflect attention from its domestic troubles. The nuclear deal may be one important barrier preventing escalation and war in the Middle East. French President Emmanuel Macron recently discovered, absent a new deal, Trump will withdraw. Yet a new comprehensive deal is not possible. Europe was united in its support for the current deal until Macron offered support for a new deal, but French backing alone is not enough to get the other signatories Britain, Germany, China, Russia, and the EU to play ball. This calculus omits Iran itself, which has consistently rejected calls for renegotiation and linking the deal to other issues. The proposed terms for renegotiation are audacious and fanciful. According to Macron, a new deal would address 4 pillars: the Iranian nuclear program, sunset clauses in the current deal, regional activity in Syria and Yemen, and ballistic missiles. It is worth remembering that the Obama administration intentionally delinked the nuclear issue from these other areas of tension to make negotiations more likely to succeed, and there is little indication that diplomacy will be more conducive this time around. Then there is also the matter of concessions. It is difficult to imagine what the United States would willingly give Iran when hawks dominate Washington's decision-making apparatus. Regardless, the price would be extremely steep to have Iran agree to an indefinite agreement or to relinquish its right to enrich uranium, a matter of Iranian national pride which has long been targeted by the deal's critics. Offering earnest, and not just ostensible, efforts to support Iran's economic recovery, which Iranians expected to receive from the 2015 nuclear deal, or dead on arrival. Then we get to the truly complicated issues. How can the United States realistically resolve Iran's so-called malign activity, which is ill-defined and covers legitimate behaviors such as supporting an ally who is also the internationally recognized government in Syria? Bashar al-Assad is barbarous, but the United States is perturbed more by his politics than his morals. Further, Washington has ceded the moral high ground by supporting its own autocrats, including facilitating Saudi Arabia's campaign on Yemen, which has spawned a humanitarian catastrophe. The truth is that the United States cannot offer Iran anything that will convince it to abandon Assad. Tehran sees Assad's survival as existential to its security and foreign policy. Then there is the issue of permanently halting Iran's ballistic missile program, which Tehran has argued is purely defensive. Given Iran's experience being bombarded by Iraqi missiles in the late 1980s and its need to deter conventionally superior rivals like the Arab Gulf states, Israel, and the United States, this is not a totally unreasonable rationalization. Yet the dual-use nature of ballistic missiles means any test is rightfully seen in Washington as a step towards a deliverable nuclear weapon that can hit the American homeland. Of course, this problem will only worsen if the nuclear deal collapses and Iran resumes unrestricted uranium enrichment, as ballistic missiles are far less dangerous when they lack a nuclear warhead. Pages.